A tough resolution before the UN Security Council. So wait to hear what the president says on that, John.
All right, and here he comes to the
national security team to discuss the situation in Georgia. I am deeply concerned by reports that Russian troops have moved beyond the zone of conflict, attacked the Georgian town of Gori, and are threatening the Georgia's capital of Tbilisi. There's evidence that Russian forces may soon begin bombing the civilian airport in the capital city. These reports are accurate. These Russian actions would represent a dramatic and brutal escalation of the conflict in Georgia. These actions would be inconsistent with assurances we have received from Russia that its objectives were limited to restoring the status quo in South Ossetia that existed before fighting began on August the 6th. It now appears that an effort may be underway to depose Russia's duly elected government. Russia has invaded a sovereign neighboring state and threatens a democratic government elected by its people. Such an action is unacceptable in the 21st century. The Georgian government has accepted the elements of a peace agreement that the Russian government previously said it would be willing to accept. An immediate ceasefire, the withdrawal of forces from the zone of conflict, a return to the military status quo as of August 6th, and a commitment to refrain from using force. There are representatives of the European Union and the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe currently in Moscow seeking Russia's agreement to this peace plan. Russia's government must respect Georgia's territorial integrity and sovereignty. The Russian government must reverse the course it appears to be on and accept this peace agreement as a first step toward resolving this conflict. Russia's actions this week have raised serious questions about its intentions in Georgia and the region. These actions have substantially damaged Russia's standing in the world. And these actions jeopardize Russia's relations with the United States and Europe. It is time for Russia to be true to its word and to act to end this crisis. Thank you.
President Bush there from the Rose Garden today with a very strong, as Ed Henry was suggesting he would, very strong statement against Russia's intervention in the Democratic Republic of Georgia, saying that the Russian intention appears to be to depose the elected government there. President Bush saying that is unacceptable in the 21st century. He said he's deeply concerned about what appears to be a major or significant escalation in Russia's invasion there, attacking the town of Gori, perhaps making preparations to attack the town of Tbilisi. He has information that Russia may bomb the Tbilisi airport, though we had heard earlier from Georgian officials that in fact had taken place. President Bush called it, quote, a dramatic and brutal escalation of the situation there, and that it is inconsistent with assurances that he received from Russia regarding the status of South Ossetia and the presence of Russian forces there. Let's bring in our Barbara Starr, who was monitoring what the president was saying from the Pentagon. Barbara, the president, harsh diplomatic rhetoric. No sign yet, though, that other than ferrying Georgian forces from Iraq back to their home country, they have done over the last couple of days, that there may be any U.S. military involvement here.
No indication at this point, John, but the president's words, to say the least, were absolutely stunning, because I have to tell you, here at the Pentagon throughout the day, as we have spoken to our military sources, they felt there were strong indications from Russia that they were not going to move into Georgia proper in any significant way, that they were not aimed at taking the capital. They felt they had some word behind the scenes from their Russian counterparts that that is not what Russia's intentions were. The president's words could not be more different. I mean, I think one has to assume President Bush has some fresh intelligence that indicates things are moving very rapidly. His words about the Russian intention to possibly depose the Georgian leader, possibly bomb the Tbilisi airport. Now, if that was to happen, the bombing of the Tbilisi airport, that would be militarily very significant, because now both the French government, the US government, and the Europeans have indicated they want to use that airport to bring in humanitarian supplies and any military action against that airport would make that very tough. Very, very stern words from President Bush, John.
Barbara Starr at the Pentagon, and let's go to Ed Henry, who was watching this from the North Lawn of the White House. Ed, very tough talk from President Bush against Russia. Have you ever heard him talk this tough?
No, absolutely not. I think Barbara had it dead on, and you did as well when you highlighted the fact that the president used that phrase that certainly caught my ear, a dramatic and brutal escalation, using that word brutal there, and also that this is unacceptable in the 21st century. This allusion to the fact that this looks more like the old Soviet Union, not the current Russia. That is, in fact, tough talk. And in some context here, in previous times when Vladimir Putin has vented against the United States with tough rhetoric of his own, White House officials have counseled me, well, don't read too much into that. We know that Putin just wants to assert Russia on the world stage, show that they're tough. We'll let him vent, and it's really, it blows over. It's no big deal. So then when the president today says that Russia, that all this has, quote, damaged Russia's standing in the world, make no mistake about it, that is a direct shot at Vladimir Putin from the president of the United States, saying you're losing your standing in the world. Obviously tough talk. The next question, though, is what will the White House back it up with? I did not hear the president talk about a tough resolution before the UN Security Council, which Russia has threatened to block, obviously, as a permanent member of that Security Council. John McCain out on the campaign trail saying he wants such a resolution, and if Russia blocks it, let the court of public opinion decide Russia's actions here. But certainly Barbara's dead on. The U.S. clearly has some intelligence that is concerning them deeply. The president talking very tough, John.